Unlocking the IB Code with Lisa and Marie.
Hello guys and welcome to the IB Code. I'm Lisa and this is
Marie.
So we're thinking of doing this series on YouTube to talk about the IB for students who might be struggling or who might want to know a little bit more about it. We both are in grade 11 by the way, so we haven't completed the IB, but we thought it would be unique to do a podcast like this because very few students talk about the IB when they're doing it. They mostly talk about it reflecting on it.
I think we should get into the games.
Into the game, okay.
I feel like we should just get into it. Right
Okay.
now. So basically we have these sort of papers right here. We also have a little sheet with some 3 questions on it. I don't know how to show it. And then we're gonna pick one and then discuss our perspectives on our experiences of that throughout the first semester and beginning of second semester of 11th grade.
Pick one.
This is fun.
Okay, I got history and this is good because Marie doesn't do history.
I don't do
history.
this. Oh my god, okay.
How can I manage my time effectively? Okay, this is a big one. History, grade 11, is very different to like the INS you do in NYP. The INS you do in NYP is like way easier, but easier in the sense that in INS you do economics, you do a little bit of geography, you do a little bit of history.
Yeah.
The only history we did last year was like learning about the Cold War, doing some OPCVL. That is like 5% of the history in DP because OPCVL is like a small part of paper 1. But history is mainly essay writing, and so far we've done apartheid in South Africa, civil rights in USA, Weimar Republic in Germany, and currently we're doing India under Nehru.
Do you like these topics you're doing?
I do like it. In the beginning, I thought that I didn't like it, but it was actually because the subject was kind of hard. But then when you take away the difficulty, I actually like the subject.
Yeah.
Which is why I've decided to stay.
I also feel like we need to discuss the fact that IB is not about like choosing the easiest subject because there's no easy subject. It's about choosing your challenges.
Exactly. What are some common mistakes to avoid? History is not just about memorizing dates and memorizing names and memorizing as much of the content as you can. That's what I did for paper 1 and I didn't get the score I wanted. Because history, you'll learn this as you go through the year, so don't worry if you're not good at this yet, but there are different concepts. Like for essay writing, there are these concepts of change and continuity, key actors, and you have to like put your essay into different themes and you'll get better at it as you go. Then OPCVL, the paper 1 is just source analysis, and the more practice you do, the better you get at it. So yeah.
Absolutely. I think also that's a common like expectation when you start 11th grade is that you're gonna keep your grade level from 10th grade. So even like completely the same, and it's gonna be challenging even in English, even though it's the same type, like even if you study English for years, you're not gonna get the same scores that you got easily in 10th grade.
That's actually a really good point because this year has made me really consider like how I define myself, because like my grades, I was really humbled. My grades in my first not first semester but first quarter, I looked at it and I felt really like I went into kind of a depression a little bit, not really, but I was really sad because I was doing really well in grade 9 and grade 10. And then suddenly because I spent a lot of time studying and so I kind of defined myself that way. But I've had to like do other things and also define myself through my extracurriculars and what I enjoy and see that you're just, by being a person, it's not just your academics, it's also your...
100%. I also think that's why we do CAS.
Yeah, we're actually going to take theater now. Both me and Marie do theater and we both do it at higher level. Also, it's a good subject because I haven't seen any YouTube videos about theater, so...
No, really, yeah.
We might do a video only on theater.
Honestly, we should, because I think that's a misunderstood subject.
Yes.
Because like I think it's such a good subject to take because you learn a lot of skills you can apply to other classes and just real world life examples really, because you get the room and the space to make mistakes and learn from them without it costing you a grade or being stressful really.
Exactly.
I think we both just submitted I just submitted my draft portfolio.
Yeah.
I wrote 6 pages in one day.
Okay.
Actually, I wrote the 6 pages and it wasn't an easy task to do, but I found it really interesting and actually fun to do because I enjoyed the subject itself.
Yeah.
And also I've learned in the beginning of semester 1, I think a lot of students hold themselves back because they were really scared of just going full out.
Yeah.
But you just gotta do it.
I'm so proud of you.
Really just gotta go for it. And if you haven't, I thought in class also it's a lot of interactive work too.
Yeah, exactly.
We have a lot of circles where we just talk and reflect together. And if you have a thought that you notice in a piece you might be watching or talking about, go for it, because so many people are thinking the same thing or maybe not at all, and it just changes the conversation in only adds positive to it. Like
Exactly.
maybe you're wrong, but at the same time you're not never
You can't
fully
be wrong. Like, thing about theater is like making mistakes. You kind of have to make mistakes to
You
do
won't learn
well in theater.
Right.
It's weird, but you'll understand it as you go. And also, theater it's so creative as a subject, and I think that's what makes it really fun. Like I was doing my portfolio, and the fact that I have like the space to create my own ideas and decide how am I going to stage something, what costumes do I want to use. Like that's what makes theater so different and special. You guys can see that we really like theater, and I think we're gonna move on now to the next subject. You want to pick one?
Sure. I'm gonna pick
This mic doesn't work, by the way, but
okay,
it's
maths.
Okay, we're gonna do math. So the thing about maths is that Marie does A and I standard level, I do A and A standard level, and both of us don't really want to go into math streams. So yeah, we'll just talk about our experiences.
So I started out the semester 1 in AASL like
Yeah.
she did, but I do not like algebra at all.
Do you want to say why you started in A and A?
Because last year in 10th grade, everybody said if you choose A and I math, you're gonna not be able to get into universities and you'll be stuck in this little hole forever. I feel like if there was so much stress about it after the information night in the 10th grade,
Yes.
everybody was like, I was so stressed about what to choose because I never aced math and it's not my best subject, and that's okay. You don't need to ace math at all. And it's not embarrassing to take A&I, and I think people just like, I don't think it's like it's easier math, but it's not the easiest math. I think what people like say is like, I think it is, maybe it's an easier math, but it's not like you're not learning something new at all.
Yeah.
You still need to work in it and learn.
Like, did you feel like, because you were in A and A first, was it like was it way easier in A and I, or was it like
I like
kind of like me doing ESS? Was it?
I just like going into A&I because I feel like first of all the class is so much smaller. We had 2 teachers. I don't know exactly why we do that, but we had 2 teachers. But they were like 8 students. Like I don't think we had many. So first of all, if you have a question for your teacher, they can like use 10 minutes plus with you on that one question, so you can actually learn it. Also, they just like our teacher specifically we have the same teacher.
Yeah, we have the same teacher, and he's wonderful. He's I think the best
teacher,
math
literally.
teacher in the school.
Absolutely, he's very like he stresses a lot that I don't want you guys to sit up at 2 a.m. working on your stuff.
Yeah.
I did that, but
Oh, okay. I do A and A math, and I don't actually need to do A and A math, but I think for me there's a lot of reasons because in 10th grade and 9th grade I was in extended math, and I was doing pretty well, and I would say I'm pretty good at math.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and like the reason I didn't take math at higher level, despite my teacher telling me to, is because I don't like engineering, I don't like science, and I feel like my natural talent is more like creative, that side.
I think we're both there, yeah.
I think we're both are there. So I could have taken AI, but I also talked to my teacher, David, and he was like, you'll be more fulfilled in A&A. And I'm someone who loves algebra. I love like handwriting things.
Yeah, you won't
and
find
stuff.
that in A&I.
And I will not get that in A&I.
There was a little bit algebra, but it's not the same.
When it comes to your subjects, like everyone is different. Everyone has a different background, which is why you take different subjects. And can we talk about universities? Because after we had a grade 10 introduction session last year, and that was really stressful for both me and Marie.
Absolutely.
Do we want to describe why in like university?
I think it was so stressful because there was so much gossip after.
Yeah.
I think that was like, one thing is you learn so much about the subject in that DP, and it's kind of what you've been working towards, and it's just been all this like kind of big goal almost. Like it's the finishing line of like this program we're doing, and there's so much talk about it, especially in 10th grade. And after that night there was so much gossiping about like what were people choosing. Like it was almost like you needed to choose these subjects because everybody else was, and if you didn't do that you were not smart enough to do IB or whatever. But I you quickly learn when you start IB that's not much true. Like also like Lisa says she's more minded towards arts, but she's still good at math. Like it's not like it's like
you can't put someone into a box. Like,
right.
We all have our strengths. Like Marie's actually really good at biology. I remember from last year lab reports and stuff. She's good at science, but she doesn't want to do science higher level.
Exactly.
And that's okay. And I've seen a lot of people who are like, I'm not going to take theater because theater is a soft subject. Universities don't like it.
Theater is
I was about
so
to not
hard.
take theater. I was actually not going to take theater because I saw this message about like it not being good for universities, and I talked to my mom, and she's the one who told me to take it because
you learn so many different
it's so
skills.
Good. It's such a good.
I love theater so much.
I would have cried if I didn't take theater. I'm gonna be honest because also if you're taking subjects for university and you don't really like that subject is gonna bring you to another major that you don't really like, and then that's gonna take you to things that you
can't only do what's based for universities. It's not always you fitting into the university. It's them fitting into you.
Exactly.
Because it is your life, and I think that's also Matthew, our counselor for universities, said that to me. It's just like, it's not the university you need to fit into, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's your life.
That's
like,
a good perspective to have, yeah.
Because like, if you only choose, you want this university and that's the only university you want to go, so you just do what they want and you won't be doing what you actually
want.
Right.
You're like,
I'm supporting each other.
Right, and I'm taking such a different path. Like,
of course.
Like, in a few years, Ginger's gonna be an engineer. I might be like an actor.
I feel like I pray with Ginger, she'll like do both. Like, she's so good at art. She takes art HL.
Oh yeah, she takes visual
art. And like, people are ranking the arts and difficulty, and I think yes, at some point you do that, but it's, at the same time, I feel like you can't really rank everything. Like, it's not everything's not competition with each other. What's the most difficult? So don't choose subjects based on your friends too.
Yeah, exactly, and that's hard, but you should try not to.
Like, I wanted her to take bio, but I'm happy she did not take bio. I don't know.
Actually, I don't know, but here's the thing. Like, there's still things that I regret, and like when I think so much about that, like I just lose my like mental health or whatever.
But at the same time, I'm happy you didn't take bio because I said I wanted to have class with you.
Yeah.
Like that's not the reason you should take bio. You took ESS because at that time for you.
Yeah.
For different things.
Yes.
You know.
Do we want to take another subject?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should talk about business. I don't do business, but Marie does business. And business has been a really
interesting journey.
Interesting subject in our grade, in our school. It's probably not the same.
But I think it fits to other schools.
Do you want to talk about your whole journey a little bit?
I had an interesting journey in business. Yes. Last year, everybody was talking about business, so easy. Content-wise, I think it's fairly simple, honestly. I don't think it's that challenging to study for. The exams are the challenging, awful part of it. I would state it always. Personally, we're doing finances right now, and that person is not really my favorite because it's a lot of formulas you need to remember. And right now, we haven't learned the formulas. We get given a formula booklet. We only learn the one we need to remember. That's rough, but I'm gonna continue doing it. But right now, my grades are like not that good, and I don't talk with my teacher about it. But she is very supportive, and I think that's the most important thing. It's like if your teacher is supportive and like willing to help you.
I think we're gonna now talk about TOK and CAS.
I thought about that too.
Because TOK and CAS, by the way, if you haven't done the DP yet, it's like you're not really you are graded, but it's not part of the IB.
I think TOK in the first few weeks was torture. I did not like it at all. Like, the first class was fine because we just sat and talked about his tie and talked about colors and blah blah blah. But then we did our first micro exhibition. I worked on that for a week, and it was the most stressful I've ever been in my entire existence because I did not know at all what I was doing, what I was supposed to do at all. And then I said to him, "Can I just present this in front of you?" And he said yes, and I did that, and I got so much feedback. But he told me one thing: your object is so good.
Your what? Your object.
He said my object is good because you're just like, if you want a little tip, your object needs to be very specific.
Yes.
Like the brain, not specific enough. It has to be someone's brain.
Yeah.
I remember.
Okay, like basically, you can't just like say I want to write an exhibition on
this paper.
You can't write an exhibition on the paper, but you can write an exhibition on a paper that is
this
about
specific
French.
paper.
It was done on what day is it today?
I think it's 13.
Whatever. On this day, while I was
today.
sitting next to my friend, like you have to make it really specific and then connect it to yourself.
I think I used my she
used her brother as an object.
I asked him and then my brother's not an object, but he said I could do it, so I did that actually.
Yeah. I got an A though in TOK this semester.
That's so impressive.
Yeah, and the reason why is because I actually learned a lot of things. So when you write your TOK exhibition, you have to format it in the same way you would with a history essay. That's how I did it.
That's amazing.
So like if you don't do history, it's fine. It's just your essay, like point, thesis, argument. You want to constantly have an argument, and you want to make your point very clear. So what I did in my quarter, which was really bad, is I just talked about my object here and there. I talked about my points here and there. There was no structure. So my teacher was reading it, and she's like, "No, you should hit the."
You also have a more strict TOK class than me, actually. She has such a strict TOK
class. I have a pretty strict TOK. I hope she's not watching this or whatever.
I will say one thing. If you have a biology as an example in the day, in the morning, and you go home, you don't remember anything from that class. And don't pretend you do. You don't. If you heard it for the first time in that class, you don't remember it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take too much. Just read over your notes and make sure you understand it. Even though you're a really good multitasker in class, when you teach you speaking and writing at the same time, you're not listening to them. Yeah. You know that.
You know the truth.
You know the truth. Like,
Okay.
make it easy for yourself. Work smarter, not harder, really.
I feel like when you focus so much on your subjects and your grades and this and that, you tend to like feel really bad about yourself. But when you see the big picture and you see that like I have Marie, a friend that I've like probably my lifelong
You
friend.
need to literally look at the positives.
Big, like you should zoom out of all of your years. Like I'm gonna be completing 4 years at CIS, and I have a friend like Marie who
Oh my god.
is gonna be a lifelong friend. And
Exactly.
not just Marie, but I have like a lot of friends now, and I've also done
We
really
have
well.
our friend group is like 10 people.
Yeah, and like CIS is what gave me the opportunity to meet these people, and so like it doesn't matter what my end result is. Like I've grown so much.
And
over
trust
these 4
me, it's not
years.
about having the biggest GDP or
Yeah,
what a
GPA.
GPA.
Gross domestic product. Okay.
I don't even
You
know.
don't even take economics. Where did that come from?
INS.
Okay.
That's also covered.
Last year.
No, but okay, GPA. It's not about having the biggest GPA. Honestly, I think at the end of the day, the most valuable things you learn in this school is the friendships and like relationships you build over the
Yeah.
years.
Life, like the real life, is so different to like maths and this blah blah.
We're
But it's
s-
similar to your social
This
life.
is what TOK have done to us.
Oh yeah, so
This
yeah.
is so TOK-ish.
we're so full on like deep now.
We're so TOK-ish right now.
So we're gonna sign off. We hope you really enjoyed the series, and we're gonna come back with new videos.
This is like an hour long.
I know. I hope you've watched everything, or at least skip through, and please share it with your friends. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see
We'll see you in the next one. We'll see you very soon.
very soon.